Hello, and welcome to a special side quest episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep, starring Dean Adler, who, as you may remember, was recovering in the hospital after almost suffering some very severe wounds. And while he was recuperating, his companion investigators were on another having some adventures of their own, excitement of their own. But Dean was in the hospital, but that matters not, because we're going to do a little delve into Dean's past, in which Dean, we're going to go back a few years to the campaign takes place in 1925, but in this case we are going to go back to the year 1919, so about 6 years, where Dean Adler he hasn't quite finished his residency. In fact, he's about to go into his second year residency, and hopefully will go on to become the doctor he is today.
Yes, very uneventful year, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Nothing happened.
A second year resident who is taken. What? I don't know. Let me see. Is it on? Oh, no, it's not. Yes, yeah, thank you. Oh. Okay, so like I was saying, says I get the extension bill in the house. All right. Anyways, so there is okay. So but in addition to Dean Adler, he has during his second year residency, he made friends with a young doctor, a young British doctor named Theodore Bartlesby, also known as TB to his friends, also known as Theodore Bartlesby III. Sort of a black sheep of his family, part of the upper class of British society, but he was considered kind of somewhat of a black sheep in that that's just why he has spent his time in America, and where maybe Dean is somewhat, I'm sure, studious and serious in his endeavors. Theo was more of some would say reckless, others would say nonchalant in his pursuits. And on this particular April night in 1919, Dean has been dragged along by his friend Tiberius to the outer skirts of New York, in particular Westchester, a area that is known for its affluence, known for being the home of several of old money, as it were. Hey, who's typing?
That'd be me. Is it too loud?
Hello, yeah. Sorry. You can mute it. Just if you mute yourself.
Yeah. I'll just mute.
Cool. No, it's all right. So, like I was saying, so it would appear that this night, this April evening, we find old TB has dragged his friend Deansy, as he likes to call him, to a very large palatial estate on the outskirts of New York. And
am I supposed to see everything right now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
I will. Here, I need to actually make this guy give you this character to you. Bam.
Got him.
There you go. And you be the third. I'll name him. Hello. And of course, you can hear as you approach the car. The estate has been the front area has loaded with various sedans and cars of various expensive makes and models. You can hear jazz sort of being blasted through the walls of the estate. Despite that, it's April, so it doesn't. It's about mid 40s as far as the temperature. Early spring and for New York, and the windows are open, probably because due to the heat from all the activity going on inside, and mist or steam, or in some cases smoke pours out from these openings. But Dean and Theo are at the door. Come on, old friend. I'm telling you, you're gonna have a good time, I swear. You need to get out more.
Yes, you said that the last dozen times that you've taken me to a place with TB.
You're gonna look. I'm telling you, I never want to go back to England. I love America. The jazz, the women. They got skirts above the knees. And there's at this door, but he just barges in. And I don't know. You go inside as well. Sorry, I don't mean to. Sorry.
You're good.
You see various flappers, men in tuxedos. Some of them wearing, some still buttoned up, but others seem to have already been exhausted with the revelry, and they're like sweating with their sleeves rolled up. Who knows where their jackets are? Some are even wearing nothing but the bow tie around their, and then their naked torsos, but they have a bow tie around their neck still.
As one does.
And yep. As you approach you hear a woman go cheese, and a loud flash emanates. You see a woman with she's dressed somewhat bohemian with a small hat, and she's got this large camera. Oh, Hypatia! I haven't seen you in quite the day. How are you, dear? Oh, I'm doing all right. Yeah, Roger is we're getting ready. We're having one last big celebration before the excursion tomorrow. Oh, where are y'all going? Oh, we'll be going to Egypt, and I'm going to be the expedition's official photographer. So, I figure I should commemorate our last night here in New York before we go. And she takes another flashing at you.
You said she takes one at us?
Yeah. Oh, who's your friend, TB? Oh, this is Doctor Dean Adler.
Not quite yet, friend. Not quite yet.
Well, that's wonderful. So, she looks at you and she's like, well, I've had enough with TB. Quit trying to set me up with your friends. He's a handsome enough fella, but I think I'm done with relationships for a while. And she kind of saunters off. I'm going to take some more pictures. He's like, be sure to send one to me. And then it goes off into this other little parlor area. Oh, you have to meet Roger. He's the best. Old Roger Dodger. Him and I got thrown out of some of the finest learning institutions this country has to offer.
If it's near the drinks, then lead on.
All right, and as you get closer, the jazz music kind of gets a little bit louder, just due to the fact that it sounds like the band is playing here in the ballroom area. And as you, he kind of leads you over. This very large gentleman, he's kind of swaying, and he kind of starts to fall in your way. You need to make a dodge roll.
Dodge, dodge, dodge. Oof.
All right.
Very large man. Very
Yep.
unexpected.
You find that, and you kind of, because he moves all of a sudden, you're not able to get out of his way in quick time, and he spills his martini all over himself. Hey, watch it, you jerk! You know I am. I got friends here. You know. You better watch it.
Is he
and
waiting for a response?
Yeah, he's already starting to roll up his sleeves though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't seem to see your friends. I must have missed them.
Goes, oh, wise ass, huh? And he sort of starts to slowly move back, like he's gonna try to get you. And then this very large man. Oh, where is he? Oh, maybe I forgot his. A very large, well-muscled man with a cigarette, as if almost from nowhere, pops out and grabs. Oops, sorry. Oh, that's why. And I forget to. Oh, there he is. Suddenly, he's not that large. All right, there he is. Pulls out. Goes, hey, you leave Roger's friend alone, and grabs him and just kind of starts pushing him away. He's a great big guy. He's a good 6 inches on you, well muscled. His face, though, he's got a nose that looks like it's been broken more than a few times, and a few scars here and there. The guy quickly scurries away. Oh yeah, Mr. Bartlesby. I heard you. The boss said you were coming. He figured you were gonna get yourself in trouble, so I made sure to come find you. Here, if you could follow me, I'll take you right to him. Go ahead and Dean, make a spot hidden.
Ooh. Spot hidden. This is find it. The heck? Oh, there we go. My roll option should be hard at the top, right?
No, hard. Oh.
It's set to hard. I don't know if
Oh, it
you did
shouldn't
that
be.
or if I did that.
Oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah, why did it do that? It's just roll 20 being weird. It should be. Let me look
Regular?
at your thing real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, where do you see where it says where it's set to hard or whatever?
It's set the roll options at the very top of my character sheet. It was just set to hard.
Oh, try it now.
Okay.
I think it got clicked on.
Ha.
Weird.
Yeesh.
Click on regular. Click on so the word regular's highlighted, and then try it again.
That's what it was on. Oh, yeah, I had clicked that when I rolled. What the heck?
Got extreme success. All right.
I'll roll again if you want.
Don't know. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right, we'll figure it out later. That being said, yes, you also, as you are walking, you between he's wearing like a jacket, but without like a formal jacket with a shirt, but no tie or anything. But you notice the glistening between. You see this glint of like brassy metal between in the gaps of his shirt. He's got some sort of amulet or plate beneath his shirt.
Interesting.
And as you guys are, as he's walking ahead, he hold on, let me see here. Okay. And he walks up ahead. Oh, there he is. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I put him. All right. As he walks up ahead, TB kind of whispers over to you. Oh yeah, that's Brass Brady. That's his bodyguard, confidant. Yeah. When old Roger Dodger had a stint at UCLA, or USC actually, he he saw old Roger here. These couple of blokes tried to get on Roger's bad side, and tried to beat him up once they figured out he was rich. Thought they could shake him down. One of them tried to take a lead pipe to him, but old Brass Brady here, he jumped in the middle of it all, throttled him to death.
And was there a
Unfortunately,
particularly reason they call him Brass Brady?
I just figured because he's a tough guy. Guy like that, got brass balls to jump into big fight unarmed like that, and he beat those two poor blokes to death. Luckily, they tried to put him down for murder, but Roger Dodger had the best lawyers that he could buy. Got him off on a technicality. So ever since then, those two have been thick as thieves, you know.
Yes, I feel much more at home now. Dean says while greatly rolling his eyes.
And then he leads you through here, and then you see there's this like sort of parlor, and you see a couple other guys. You see this very sort of handsome, older, handsome gentleman. He appears to be talking something. You can't really hear what he's saying exactly, but he's apparently he's got the thrall of these two women and this other guy. They seem to be hanging on his every word. As he smokes like a pipe, as if he's pontificating on something. You can make an education roll, actually.
Education.
Oh, there you go. So now it's regular. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you recognize him as Dr. Robert Houston. He was a man of he was graduated from John Hopkins and was a circulatory had circulatory ailments practice. He was among the first to undertake, but he was one of the first Americans doctors to undertake psychology. Rumor has it he left his wife and child for to go spend several years in Vienna. Although he got a regular success. I'm gonna see if TB recognizes him. Yeah, I'll just roll on here. I didn't bother putting his stats into Roll20. He's like, he doesn't really know much more than you do. Oh yeah, I heard about that guy. Anyways, his study of the mind and his he's written had some very frank discussions about human sexuality, which seems to have titillated and disturbed many of the intelligentsia of New York. That being said, he leads you over here. Roger Dodger! How are you, old friend? But despite the descriptors that you've heard of this, of a good sort of a good time, Charlie, and all this sort of thing, he simply nods. Theodore. So wonderful to see you again. It's been far too long. Yeah, it sure has, old Roger Dodger. And he jumps on the couch and kind of puts his arm around him. Oh, this is my friend Deansy. Say hello, Deansy.
I'll stick out my hand and say, Dean Adler, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too, sir. Hey, Brass, why don't you go get yourself a drink? And he kind of looks and you can make a psychology roll real quick.
Mm, I'll use luck on that. I'll use
Okay.
4 luck.
All right.
I have to match, right?
Yep. Perfect. Because he seems to have a bit of hesitation and a bit of almost worrisome. Mainly, you see that his focus of his worry is not on you guys, but more that he glancing over to this woman over here. This African woman. She's wearing pretty much like the bohemian garb of the time, but her hair is in a very large swath of ornate cloth. It gives her almost a regal bearing. Another gentleman standing also behind her at this desk, sort of watching, but not really doing anything other than that. He goes off to get a drink. So Roger, you really leaving town? I mean, you're the king of New York. You could be here forever. Why would you want to travel all the way around the world to some dusty old tomb? Well, you may, I know what you're thinking. But I just like how you found medicine. I also decided archaeology is really my passion. Well, one of them. Other than my lovely friend over there. Ooh. And of course he goes, oh, well, you certainly got a taste for the exotic. It's not like that. It's more than that. We have a deep spiritual connection. Her name is... Oh, what's her name? Well, I'll just go with the name on there. She is... Her real name... Her name is Maweru. She is... Well, let's just say she knows things I never knew about myself until she pointed them out to me.
Do I know anything about this guy?
Roger Carlisle? Yeah, you can make an education roll. Oh, only what you've read in the paper, which is that he's some sort of playboy. His parents died when he was young, and him and his sister have been the sole heirs to the estate. Him being the oldest, he seems to be in charge of spending it. You really mainly know him from the gossip pages. You don't really know as far as like businesses or anything like that.
Okay.
As she decides she decides to get up. Slowly walk over. This fellow, a well-dressed black man with wearing a very nice contemporary suit, but nothing too fancy, but still well put together. It looks almost fairly new, in fact. And he kind of hovers around her, but not from a distance. So walks over. Ah, yes, this my lovely friend. This is my love, Maweru. These are my friends, TV and Adler. Theo, gathering. Enchanté, mademoiselle. And kisses her hand. What of you, Dean? What would you like to do?
I'll once again offer my hand to both of them and introduce myself.
Ah, yes. This is my brother, Madari.
Pleasure.
Hello. It is nice to meet you. Although that's about as friendly as he gets. He's definitely very stern looking. Yes, I have been so fortunate to have seen the wonders of your beautiful country. Some of it even reminds me of my home in Kenya. Um, as you are to worry about that. Okay, so as you are talking, sort of small talk, I need you to make a spot hidden.
Oof.
Wow. Okay. Oh, you don't have really good spot hidden. Okay. Um. You you find you where is she? There's a you're suddenly startled by the sound oh sorry, hold on. I'm sorry. There we go. You are suddenly startled. Another woman's voice she must appears behind you and it startles you a little bit. Oh. Well, I'm afraid I don't think I've ever seen you around before. Oh, no, Erica.
She says this to me.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be too surprising, ma'am, as seeing as how this is my first time here.
Ah. Oh, so you're new. Fresh blood. um, it was, well, it's nice to see you. In fact, would you care to have a dance? Theo's thrilled by the prospect. Oh, yeah, you should go cut a rug, Deansy. Come on. Hey, you know, might be good. You might be. This might be your future brother-in-law, Roger Dodger. And he just kind of gives this weird, kind of awkward smile.
Mm.
Yeah, sure. What do you want to do? Sorry.
Well, I've never been one to turn down a dance,
Very good.
and I'll offer
So
my
with
arm.
that, excellent. And with that, you are given. Jack Brass is kind of hanging out over here, and then you notice the guy has left, and now the two girls are kind of sitting very close to him, to Dr. Houston. He's got kind of caressing the cheeks of one of them.
Good for him.
Ugh, that guy gives me the creeps. With that, you hit you cut a rug. You can make a. You can make a dexterity roll. See how well you do.
Bro, I'm supposed to be good at these.
um. Well, looks like you could use some more lessons there, champ. Use what kind of? So what do you do? You're a doctor?
I'm a medical student. I'm not fully finished yet.
Oh well, maybe. Yeah, well. So are you getting roped into one of Roger's crazy crusades? Or are you just here for are you just a tourist?
Well, we are still in New York, right? You said the outskirts. Yeah, you said the outskirts.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, I live and work here, but I was dragged here by my friend Theo in there.
Yes. That sounds like Roger. Never last few years. Well, he's always been a bit of a flighty bird, but ever since Mom and Dad died, it's been just out of control. I get harassed night and day by the accountants. It's been giving loans out to different businesses. all of a sudden, too. I mean, he's always been a bit of a lout, but unfortunately, he's the lout with all the money. And now he's going to go blow a considerable amount of our family fortune on this stupid trip. Ever since he met that woman, it's been just awful.
What is the purpose of this trip?
I don't know.
Egypt is as interesting to me as the next guy, but for having so much going on here, why would he go to Egypt?
I don't know. Something about me going to some ancient pyramid. Someone that hasn't been discovered or is thought to have been lost. Something like that. I really wouldn't know much about it. I'm just she goes, I'm still trying to finish high school. She's only like 17. Don't worry, I'm fine. It's the 20s. She goes,
20.
I really wouldn't know. That'd be Dr. Pay. That'd be Lord Sir Penhew. Big British muckety muck. He's apparently a big when he wasn't busy born into privilege. He's used it to guess look for wonderful stuff like that. Ancient civilizations and all this sort of thing. But
Well, I'm no expert on the subject, but I believe that they had already discovered pretty much everything there was to know about ancient civilizations in that region.
well, not according to Lord Fancy Pants. Oh yeah, according to him, he knows he's got the line on another place. A tomb was something like more ancient than has previously discovered, something like that. To be honest, it was all rather boring. I didn't really pay much attention. He's a bit of a long-winded sort of guy. And everyone's always trying to get his, get his money, I'm sure. He has a big foundation in London, too. The mover and a shaker, that's for sure. They're going to stop off in jolly old England on the way to Cairo, apparently. To be honest, there's part of me that's kind of glad that they're all going. They've been lounging about this house for weeks getting ready for this stupid trip. They're all nuts, as far as I'm concerned. Except for that bodyguard. He seems to be the only one that has a brain smart enough to know what's going on. But my he's got it bad for this lady. There's nothing I can do about that. All I can hope is that she doesn't make him spend fortune all the money.
I take it you won't be joining.
Hell no. I'm gonna stay here and hide all the silverware. I may be having him go out on my own. The way he keeps it up. And as you talk, it's dancing around. Through the crowd, you see someone, a well-dressed black man with a cigar and a small mustache. You think, if you didn't know any better, you'd say it was your friend Jackson.
Am I supposed to see him on the map?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Problem with this damn map, it's so fucking huge. There he is. I know. Where is he? He appears not to notice you.
Wait,
He's just
there he is.
dancing.
Okay.
Yeah. He appears to be dancing about through the crowd, shuffling and having a good time.
I do notice him, though.
Yes.
I'll say to her, I'm terribly sorry, but I think I recognize somebody. Do excuse me.
All right.
And I'll walk over to him.
Okay. His back is turned to you.
I'll kind of walk up and like tap him on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. You tap him on the shoulder, and when he turns, you see your friend Jackson. Only he has that wound that he had on his forehead when you found him in the hotel room. And it's bleeding everywhere. What does Dean Adler do? The rest of the crowd's still dancing. They don't apparently not seem to notice this or be aware of it.
Very quizzically, I'll just question, like, Jackson?
You were too late. You let me die. It's up to you to stop him.
What?
What does Dean think this is happening, or does he? You can choose to disbelieve what you're seeing if you wish.
Yeah, he doesn't really get what's going on.
All right. He
kind of thinks that maybe Theo slipped him something before we arrived here.
And with that, he runs and runs down. Oh shoot! Hello. He begins to run. He kind of looks at you and laughs, and he runs over through this. Runs up through here through this parlor.
I'll kind of have. I'm not exactly sprinting, but I'm very hastily walking through the crowd, and I'll walk up to the doorway. I'm just gonna keep following him as long as I can, like, until I lose sight of him or something.
Yeah, he goes around this corner, and you lose sight of him temporarily. He's not there. Instead, you see a well-dressed man smoking a very long, like a cigarette on a filter. And there I was, lost in the desert for several days. I thought for sure I was done for until a friendly tribe of Bedouins found me. Luckily, they had a love of gold. Had to give him my grandfather's pocket watch, but it was well worth it. That's a very good story. He goes, and he sees you looking over. That's wonderful. What a wonderful story. You've lived so many wonderful adventures. Yes, and more to come. Due thanks to Mr. Carlyle's generous offer, he's going to accompany me on a wonderful expedition. There are many wonders still left to be discovered in ancient Egypt. I will be the one to find them. And as you do that, you see this fires go. There's like a fireplace going right behind you. And then all of a sudden the fireplace kind of goes out. It's dark. In fact, you notice all the lights around this whole area is kind of dim in the whole dining room area. And then you hear some sort of strange noise coming from something seems to be stirring from the fireplace. What would you like to do?
Do they seem to have noticed my presence?
A couple of them acknowledge you, but then just quickly turn. They obviously don't recognize you.
Do I recognize any of them? Specifically the guy who's talking a lot.
You can make a intelligence roll. Nope. It's having some bad time. Wait. Yeah, wow, you're just getting some bad rolls. That's all right. No, they're no one that you recognize, although they do seem to be various members of. Some appear to be quite affluent. Others appear to be maybe not so affluent, but maybe more artistic side of things. Probably painters or poets or some sort of people performing arts. Fancifully dressed, but certainly not rich.
Okay. I'll kind of casually walk down to this corner and like around, but I'll like really slow down around the fireplace and kind of see what's going on in there.
All right. Go ahead and make a listen roll.
Okay.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, you hear something in the darkness, which is really weird because there should at least be glowing embers, but like it appears to be anything that's anything that was emanating light appears to have been squelched. You hear a strange shuffling noise, sound like and then you also hear a strange sort of howling noise. Little sort of little strange, almost like like a dog, or even more like a. And then you hear this sort of yapping noises, like you would hear a jackal emanating from the. And despite the fact that it's the fireplace, it seems that it almost sounds like it's really loud. Like it's like almost like the way the reverberation of the yipping and the sounds, like it's in something a very large chamber.
Curiously, I'll step down and kind of like examine the fire closer.
All right. And as you do, a sort of a hound, a sort of jackal-headed hound, made of shadow. Sort of, just the head emanates from the darkness and stares at you. Its eyes and nose have this strange sort of metallic, almost like makeup around them, almost like Egyptian style. Adler. That's what it says to you. Go ahead and I'm gonna. You may make a sanity roll to disbelieve, and you do not.
I do not believe what I'm hearing.
You think it's happening, and now you're. Okay, I'm just gonna write it down since I can't see it. And then you also had. All right. It sort of saunters out of the darkness. What do you want to do?
Not believing what he's really seeing, he's gonna put his back to the fire and just go with that for now. Kind of like try to collect himself.
And then you see Penhew, only now, instead of wearing his fancy robe and everything, their fancy outfit, he's got some sort of strange headdress on and a staff. Almost like he's dressed like almost like a pharaoh of old. He just kind of stares at you. He goes, "It's almost time, Dr. Adler. It's almost time indeed. Look, and he points to the clock. There's like a grandfather clock, and it is it says 2:30.
Time for what?
For them, their time for the great event. It will be a wonderful thing. You'll see. The glorious days will be back.
Are you drunk?
Please, I'll meet you out on the veranda, I promise. And then these other people, they're like, not even like, they don't seem to comprehend, or they just like act like nothing's wrong, and they go, oh yes, I can't wait, and and as you his Egyptian staff that he has an ankh. Only you notice that the ankh is actually upside down.
Okay.
And he begins to leave. We get out of here. All right. Well, they can go. Yeah, they go, come on, everyone, and they start going. All these people start kind of, and the dog too.
Am I following him?
It's up to you. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to grab your token. That was my fault.
That's fine. I didn't know if I was in like some kind of trance.
No.
Does he appear normal now?
Who? No,
he's still in his like Egyptian getup.
Yeah.
But all of the other people seem normal.
Yeah, they're like, haha. And then, except that now you notice, like, they appeared to be normal, though you do see a couple of them have some sort of black around the corners of their mouths, like black viscous blood starts to flow a little bit. They're like, oh, wonderful. And they're just talking. They're like sort of blowing on blood, this black blood all over themselves, and they just seem to be a completely unaware of. What's that, Thomas Masters? Oh, unaware of it. It's
Okay, not really certain what's going on. Dean is going to kind of just like shake his head like in disbelief and go try to find a bar.
All right. So he finds the bar. There is a bar. Actually, if you go, you run into some other party goers, and they tell you there is the bar is located. Well, they have one set up over here, kind of in the lounge area where Dr. Houston was, and there's also one bunch of drinks and stuff set up in the conservatory down on the lower southeastern corner.
You said where the Dr. Houston was?
No, it's further to the
down there.
south.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those directions, Dean is going to go ahead and move down that way. Too much.
You notice they have like various. It's not really so much a bar as it's just big piles of just wine and spirits and various bottles kind of piled around. One thing you do notice is that there's this fella here and then you even see a couple of cops hanging out with them. And then another fella with his trench coat and his fedora, and then there's this guy. You've seen him before. You saw him at the import house.
In the future?
In the future, yes. Mr. Emerson.
Are they like serving drinks, or is it kind of just like find a bottle and pour it yourself kind of deal?
Yeah, just kind of everyone's just kind of grabbing stuff. Although the one of the uniform cops is like serving the drinks to this guy. Here you go, Captain. So, are we in agreement? We're gonna are we gonna do it the way this is the way we're gonna do it? Right? You just all I'm asking you is just tell me when your patrols are out. No, you don't see nothing, you can't report nothing, right? Oh, don't worry about that, Mr. Emerson. I've been given my directions, and I will be a good boy, especially for what they're paid me. And this guy's like, you see this one guy, he's kind of looking at you and kind of eyeing you. What
Which
do you
guy?
want? The guy in the white hat. Yes. And he's
Oh,
kind
this
of,
one.
you see his hands kind of like pressed against his like his chest. Like, hey, you got a problem here, friend? Ah, come on, Mr. Peck. We're all friends here. We're all friends of Mr. Carlyle's. There's no need for that. Cool your jets, son. And then with that, you hear this loud. You hear a bunch of noises, and then this clock over here. It says, yeah. Sorry. It says 4:30. And he goes, all right. Here, a bunch of when somebody one of the party goes, it's about to launch. Come on, let's go see it. And then he goes, I have no care for this sort of thing. Come on. And they all run out. A couple guys run out through the window. They jump out the window, and then you hear other people running. Look out there. Look. What do you want to do?
I'll take my drink and I'll move to the window, but I'm just gonna poke my head out and see what everyone's looking at. I'm not gonna dive out.
You poke your head out and you see this.
Huh.
Although you thought it was nighttime, maybe it's not.
I was just about to say.
Maybe it's
Dean
an
read that clock
eclipse.
as 4:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah. Well, it's 4:30, but yeah, could be 4:30 in the morning. With that, he hold on. You I messed something up here on this. There it is. You they're looking out at the sky and you see this little dot of light. It's going. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And there everybody's like, oh, it's so exciting. They'll return. Just as they foretold. And then there's this little explosion in the middle. And then oh god dang it, come on. After a few seconds, the sky turns red. This massive hole appears in the sky. and everyone starts cheering. And you hear these strange noises overhead in the darkness. They're returning! They're returning! And then your head sort of gets full of strange visions of things. I need you to roll a 10-sided.
Okay.
Okay, that's enough. So let me see here. 7. All right. Dean Adler bolts up into his hospital bed, screaming in terror. And then orderlies come in and try to hold you down as you're flailing about. During the struggle, a small blue hardcover book is knocked to the floor. As it opens up, you see the illustration of the same of a eclipse and of a strange mountain shaped vaguely like a tentacle on the top, as if it's some sort of creature howling at the strange moon or a strange eclipse in the sky. Eventually, someone holds you down long enough to hit Dean Adler with a hypodermic needle, the very heavy sedative, and he falls back asleep.
Good.
And with that, we'll see what his recovery is like when we all meet back up again. I will say, as far as your stats go, go ahead and because the book did give you this. Get where's your guy? All right. So the sanity loss from skimming the book is you're down to now. Oops. This much. Now the nice thing with this is when you skim through a book, you lose the sanity you lost. You can't lose more than the maximum. So if you have that book, and you got a little bit of Cthulhu mythos, and they gave you some extra for having this weird dream. So you have that much, but you can get more by studying the book.
I can
I don't
get
know
more mythos by studying the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's skimming and then there's studying. And where's your handout? Where is it? Oh yeah, Africa's Dark Sex. So I don't know if you've read this. There's also you can try to learn the spell. Create Kimba, which is a zombie. If you want to.
Where am I seeing
yes. And yeah, you lost 1d10. Now when you do the full study, you have to roll a 10 again, but however, you can't lose more than what you've already lost, so you would roll a d10 unless you roll a 9 or a 10, or I'm sorry, 8, 9, or 10. You can study again. Also, know that once you've studied in a mythos book, you can also use it like a reference. So you can actually like do research with it, that sort of thing. And you can get a little bit more, but the rest of your week is pretty much spent under sedation, and by the time you recover, you'll be back at. See, you'll have your 1 point. You were done. Yeah, I'll give you. I think you recover. Roll a 6-sided divided by 2 for me. So 1.5. So 2. So you'll actually have 8. All right. So when you get out of the hospital, you have 8 hit points.
That makes sense.
Because it took you a week. You had to
Yeah.
when you're major wounded. It you still had 1 per a week, and then so that first week was you were to cover the 1. So then you were above major wound.
Makes sense.
All right.
And I anticipate that I'm leaving the home and I'm calling a taxi and I'm leaving the hospital, calling a taxi and going right to my perfectly fine and standing home with my maid who cares deeply about me.
Yes.
Well,
everything's
speaking
fine.
of your maid who's still alive, as you leave, I think now is a good time to, if that's all.
Yes, that's
this
it.
is the end of Dean Adler's mini story.
Yes.
So, if the two of you could kindly say goodbye to YouTube for me.
Bye, YouTube. Can't wait
Bye,
to dream about
YouTube.
that IRL.
Goodbye, YouTube.